Hello. I don't know whether I'm actually streaming yet, so okay. Oh, yeah. Let me leave before. Yeah. Uh, Hello and welcome to the Division 2 RSF1 race around USA. So far, it's currently streaming is special guest streamer me, Muddy Biscuit, on comms. So thank you for everyone who's joined in, and soon we will get RSF1 Pazuzu on co-comms. Let me send him an invite. So far we're currently towards the end of Q1, and I believe Tornado and Quirky have both already crashed out, so there is only going to be 9 people into Q2. So hopefully nobody else crashes out and costs us less people in the following sessions, but welcome Pazuzu.
Hello. Sorry for the late start, everyone.
No, yeah, I think getting me on the Twitch was a bit of a late call, so yeah, apologies for that, but hopefully
You didn't miss
time for a
much.
good session.
The only thing you missed was Tornado crashing and everyone setting the lap. I don't know if Quirky Turtle has crashed. Let me just double check.
I assume so if it's not set.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I want to see what sort of pace they're doing.
He's not even on the list.
No. Is he not?
No.
He has gone right down to the bottom because he's P. Oh, no, it's not. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
That is
Tornado.
the game.
Oh no, sorry. Yep, he Tornado and Quirky Turtle terminal damage. I don't know why he's not on the drivers list, but yeah.
Yeah, I think the game's
Yeah.
being the game. He says this is P15, and obviously you can only scroll down to the top 14, so he's probably there. We just can't see.
Yeah, I can't get past 14.
Yeah, okay.
Well, Codemasters.
Yeah, the game being the game. Yeah, but so far actually, we're actually surprised how quickly people are doing. They already beaten my time from yesterday.
Yeah.
They have.
I'm awful around
So that's
here.
great for me. Me too, being a Div 1 driver, I probably should be beaten by Q1. I did a 32.8 yesterday. So even Matty, Eyes, who's joined back now, has already beaten me. I assume he's probably not played the game that long. He's already quicker than me, so that's not great.
What was the race? I think I was commentating. I can't. And was it a Div 3 or Div 4 beat your time? And you commentated on it. I think it was Hungary.
Yeah, and I've been known to be beaten by Div 5 poles before as well, so I believe Invade in yes, Invade in Italy, I believe, beat me on my Q3 time. So either saying something about Invade or saying something about me. So and I think it's probably more saying something about me.
I think Muddy's washed his hands.
Yeah, I think. I don't know what's happened, but I think this game, the last few weeks, has gone away from me. I think.
Div 2 next season,
I've just lost all my pace. It depends. New game. I think with the new
Legends.
Well, actually, we've got. Yeah. Saying that, I thought Legend would have run away with this title, but he hasn't. I don't believe. I believe him and Pigeon and Grant is still in the title battle, so it's not close than I expected this time in the season.
Let me have a little look at the title, because I don't actually know. We've had a week break, haven't we?
Yeah.
And I've done about 6 league races since then.
Wow. No, this is the only league I raced in, and I missed the last race as well. So yesterday was my first race in about 3 weeks, so I was a little rusty. I was last by 27 seconds.
Sorry, I didn't mean to laugh there, because that's probably me tomorrow on Wednesday.
It was quite bad. Yeah, it was quite bad. And USA is not my strongest, so yeah. Hopefully we'll get some closer racing today.
And
nobody will be last by that much. Horizon's still going round. He's obviously. Oh no, and that's a bit of a 10-pin bowling there from Horizon. Taking Bollard out, coming into pit lane.
With 11 of
us,
with 11 in Q1, only 9 in Q2, because 2 people have already crashed. That worries me for the race.
Yeah, yesterday in Div 1 we only had 9 starters, only 7 managed to finish. But yeah, let's take us through the Q1 results. Only looks like about 6 of them have set competitive lap times, but so far Pigeon has the edge on Legends by 9 milliseconds, so it's definitely going to be a close race, but yeah, I think oops, wrong button. Yeah, I think it's a very risky track. I spun yesterday twice. My setup wasn't great. I didn't really practice for either.
I haven't
Yeah, I
either.
think no, yeah, it's a really balanced low downforce for the straight, high downforce for sector 1.
1 second, just need to answer the phone.
No worries. Yeah, and with it being a high speed sector 1, long straight sector 2, and a tight and twisty sector 3, it's very difficult to find the balance between all three sectors to find a good setup. So I know I lost it in the first sector once, I believe, coming out just before the long right hand, that hairpin turn. I might have got contact, but yeah, it was one of those where I think I got on the power too early. So it's definitely a tricky track to master. But yeah, so far we have 5 viewers. So yeah, if anyone wants to comment anything in the chat, feel free. Let's try and get some conversations going as we see Sliver and me head out in the Red Bull. Is he the only? No, actually, there's 2 Red Bulls and 2. What's I's the best? Is that 2 Aston Martins? I's the best in grunts. Actually, even though we've only got 11, there's a couple, or 9. Sorry, there's a couple of teams that have 2 representatives. So I think that will help those in the constructors' battle. So while we sit through Q2, I will go through the standings. So currently, as I was saying, Legends has a 17-point lead over Pigeon Munch, 204 compared to 187. Grunt's still with an outside shot for the championship. He's currently on 154 points, just 50 points off the lead. So just 2 race wins off the lead. So a couple of good races from Grunt could see him launch back into title contention. JJ Hudson down on 109 points, currently sits 4th, just ahead of Quirky Turtle on 92. Tornado has 83 points. Matty has 67. Cornish on 62. Mr. Hobnobovic on 58. Cornet Star on 33. CW, so let me get the drive on track. CW 29 points, Evo 24, Slytherin also 24, with Tribal on 8, FaZe Crab on 6, and Vigo on 1.
Sorry.
Has somebody binned it already?
Horizon is spun.
Oh yeah, Horizon.
And it's out lap.
Actually, let me set up this so you can see the full map as well, so I'm not very used to doing this, so apologies if I catch some action late.
Yeah, you just want...
Grunt's sitting on Inters. Oh, so yeah, so hopefully it has Stu, he knows the rules that he shouldn't be driving.
Saying that,
unless he's expecting rain.
You know, I mean, if you look about, actually, it might actually rain. The clouds, from Horizon's point of view, are very grey. So it is possible, maybe, question mark.
Yeah, and now we have Pigeon start a lap. Do you want to walk us through a lap, Pazuzu?
Yeah, sure. So as it comes up on softs, comes up turn 1. Nah, this isn't even a lap. He's not using the RS.
Is he not, is he?
No, he's not even using the RS.
So it looks like it's a bank. I was wondering why Legends, Pigeon and Slytherin were all out on softs, because here...
Same with Slytherin.
Yeah, it's not really... Softs are decent, but not on a heavy tank.
Going through the S's in sector 1. I can't remember what corner number this is. Purple first sector, but hey, no one's set a lap time yet. Taking it very cautiously through the chicane. This is where Horizon lost on his outlap. Nicely done. Come down to this actually quite difficult corner, I find. I always seem to out my brake myself here, but he seems to do quite nicely. Now we've got this long straight with DRS. Got no one behind him. We've got a nice bit of space in front of him. Can he hit brake? Apex? Nicely done there. I always love that corner. You can take that a lot more tighter than that. Upshift early. Nice. Ooh, almost loses the back end there. That's another corner where you can spin quite easily. Seems a very nice and tidy lap. It doesn't feel fast, or it doesn't seem fast. And there's the rain. The rain is starting. So these are going to be your pole laps, I think. Whoever gets pole here is going to get through.
So has Grunt here played the blinder, waiting for the rain?
Yeah.
He goes out into it, doesn't waste a set of dry tyres.
Exactly. And he gets to pick whatever tyre he wants to start on at the race as well.
Yeah, that's another good point. Even those people on mediums who are doing even half slow laps where maybe at 1 minute 50, as you see Sliffin do exactly 1 minute 50. Yeah, those people on a slow laps will still probably burn 3-4% tyre wear into those tyres. So if a
Oh
rod can
yeah,
have that advantage at the start of the race, that's probably an extra lap. He can go longer and maybe slightly stretch his tyres to maybe a soft at the end, which we saw from yesterday is possible to do a medium soft.
and it's not even that. You've got to remember on the formation lap when people are warming up their tyres, you actually get tyre wear from that. So it's that
Yeah,
lap. And to be quite honest, I don't warm my tyres up on formation laps. You don't need to. I don't
no,
think
I
anyway.
don't, not until like the last sec. Same with the safety cars. I don't normally, unless they drop to like 70 degrees, I
Oh,
don't normally warm them up on the formation lap or safety car until we get to the last sector because there's no point adding tyre wear if it
exactly.
just cools down again.
Exactly.
And also one thing, other things is when you've crossed the line and enter the session, any drive your AI does until it goes to the race director screen also counts as tyre wear.
Oh, does it? I didn't know that.
I have, yeah, same with if you
Oh,
retire in the pit lane before your team drags you into the pits. So if that's why I always, if I enter the session, when I come into pit lane, I wait until I'm fully in the pit box. Otherwise, I'll add tyre wear. The AI will get confused and add a whole lap's worth of tyre wear, which is a bit stupid, but yeah, I would say that about a lot of Cody's games, but yeah.
yeah. What are your views on the next game with, obviously with it following the real rules of Formula 1? What are your views on the Q2 tyres now don't matter? Just set softs the whole way and then pick your tyres at the start?
I think it's better overall because before it sort of aided, let's say last year or the year before, it always aided Mercedes and Red Bull because they were the only ones who could start on mediums. So the likes of the McLarens or the Ferraris last season, any team that saw maybe 6 or 7 from the grid had to start on softs and then were disadvantaged.
Yeah, but wouldn't you
So it only
say,
ever aided those top 4.
Mercedes, Ferrari, Red Bull, and that have earned the right to do that with where they are? I mean, I just think the Q2 tyre rule, I just think it opens up strategy. And are you willing to go for
Yeah.
that alternate strategy to maybe not start as high as possible? I think it was a lot of high risk, high reward type thing, and now it's just gone. I
Yeah,
mean,
for sure. I think it's definitely, yeah, it's definitely one of those things where there's a lot of pros and cons. And I did hear
exactly, yeah.
rumours that F1 are trialing or planning on trialing a different qualifying format this season, towards the end of the season, where everyone's forced to use hards in Q1, mediums in Q2, and softs in Q3, which I
Ooh.
think could be quite interesting, especially everyone trying to set a fast lap on hards in Q1. I don't think that's confirmed yet, but I know a lot of the paddock journalists who are
Yeah.
normally fairly reputable have been saying that's likely to happen at least once or twice this season. As we see, DRS is disabled,
Because
so perfect time for anyone who wants to go out on
these
inters.
I mean, they're all
But
going
actually,
through
anyone,
anyway.
yeah,
So
but do the likes of Cornish, Matty, and Slivering try and do an inters lap, which hopefully will be quicker,
well, they have to.
and then they'll get free choice, won't they? If
Exactly.
they do their fastest lap on inters. So yeah,
Whereas
which I
now,
think
see, Grunty
Slivering won't.
and Legends, they literally
Yeah.
just have to do a lap. It doesn't matter how slow it is. Because everyone's free.
Yeah, for sure, yeah. And it'll definitely help him, I think.
No.
I don't know what a wet time is here, but normally what is about 15 seconds off dry pace, maybe 20 seconds. So I think if Matty does improve, he could go on inters, improve, and then get a free tyre choice, which could
Yeah.
be,
I think Matt and
as we see,
Cornish should
yeah,
be able to improve.
as we see them both go out. Ooh, Cornish getting a big tank slapper on the exit of turn 1 in the cold tyre. That's one thing I have noticed on this game, or at least especially around this track, is turn 1 coming out the pits, especially if you're coming out on mediums or hards. Turn 1 can be very easy to lose the rear end on cold tyres.
See, but this also can backfire on these people doing into starts now, into runs. Because if it's an inter start, the people that have set dry tyres have set a blinder because they'll be able to start on fresh inters, whereas these will have to set on these. If you get what I'm saying.
I don't think that's the rule for wet tyres, is it? I think it only applies to dry tyres.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not too sure, but yeah, I'm not too sure if anyone.
But I mean, conditions match. So if the conditions match, surely you would say, but hey, we're not the FIA, so
Yeah,
we don't know.
no. But yeah, I don't wonder whether we'll get anyone in the chat trying to give us a heads up of what the weather's going to be like, but either way, so far, yeah, it looks like. And also, if it continues to rain, Q3, anyone who does use Inters now will have one less set for Q3. But I think normally you get 3 sets, don't you, for the whole racing qualifying? They should be fine using 1 now and 2 in Q2, 2 in Q3.
You got 3 sets to last you qualifying and the race, and you have also 3 sets of wets. Oh, Grunty! Oh, you lucky boy, Grunty!
Yeah, it's lost it. Oh, as I said, yeah, coming out on turn 1, is that on? No, that's on a lap, but you could still. How do I change the camera? Looks like he's still got at least some front wing, so he should be able to continue around and finish this lap time and set a time in the bank.
Yeah, he hasn't invalidated. He just needs to set a lap. Doesn't matter how fast or how slow. Just set one.
And the fact that both Pigeon and Eva have come out on Inter suggests they want to do a bit of wet practice, suggesting that Q3 will be wet.
Do you know what? A wet race would spice this race.
Yeah, oh, bit of sparking there from Grunt, out the rear.
Yeah,
it's definitely very treacherous conditions.
That sparking is running it a bit low. It doesn't look low though.
And Matty's invalid. Actually, Matty for Matty because he's always at lap time, but he's invalidated. Cornish coming down to. I'm not going to guess the numbers. Too many turns on this track to guess the numbers. But going through the middle sector, gets it hooked up nicely to the apex. Matty pulls out the way. Again, does he get again? These 2 hairpin corners can be quite tricky in the wet, especially if you've got a car that's maybe not set up for the low speed and more catered for the high speed sector 1.
Definitely. I'm not, like I said, I'm not a fan of this track. Yeah, I'm one of those people. In fact, if I don't like a track, I don't really invest much time into it. Or I should really.
Yeah, I don't like it. I've just never been quick here. I've always found that it's never been a track where I've ever had any decent pace. I think back in season 2, in that glorious F3 season 2, me and Camo got a 1-2. I think that's been my only ever decent result right here.
I can never find a setup I'm happy with.
Yeah, I was struggling. I had a setup where it was always oversteering in the high speed and understeering in the low speed.
Yep.
So I added a bit of front wing. It felt a bit better, but still, it just, if you have too much front end to help you in the low speed, you then end up oversteering and sliding so much at the first sector. And obviously with tyre wear and overheating being such an issue on this track, if you start to overheat your tyres, especially on the softs, it can really start to compromise you.
Yeah, Grunty, I don't know if he's setting up or he's not using ERS, so.
I think maybe because he spun, it shows as being 13 seconds up even, but yeah, he might be coming in.
Yeah, no.
How much practice does he want for the Q3?
Exactly. I thought it was going slow because he had wing damage, but he clearly doesn't have wing damage.
Yeah, if it is not visible, and that can still cost you, I think, maybe 1 or 2 attempts, but yeah, it's, at this point in the session, wing damage isn't really going to make a difference with everyone being so spread out. Is Matty about to, yes, Matty's about to come across the line, a mid 140s, so he's going to improve and get a free tyre choice. If we check best tyres, we can see that Legends, Matty, Cornish and Grunt will be those who get the slightly fresher tyres for the start of the race, assuming it's a dry race start.
Grunt is free. He's in the pits.
Yeah, Grunt decided to be a little bit of a tyre from
Cornish
session.
is doing more laps. He's got, yeah, his ERS is on.
Yeah, he's pushing through the...
So does this say that there's no rain in the race?
Yeah, I assume so. You wouldn't want to risk too many sets of inters if there's rain coming.
I mean, I think he's only used one set. Let me have a little look. I think this is the only set he's used. Yeah, this is the only set he's used. I just would have thought, though, you know, with them all be going through anyway. I would have thought they would have just done one lap, no matter how good or bad it was, and just gone in and retired.
Yeah, but I wonder, people don't normally practice for wet weather, so I wonder whether they not only practice all week, an extra 2 or 3 laps, especially for if Q3 is wet, just to get their eyes in and spot where the braking points are.
It's worth it.
We'll see if they were, yeah, they're already pushing. Legends of the 44.4 is 2 seconds quicker than Cornish. He's actually 7 times up on his lap. But at least we sort of see that's sort of the time we're looking for. Maybe a sort of 43, 44 will be a pole time if the rain stays at this sort of level. But we know the rain in this game, as Cornish loses the back end coming out of the hairpin.
Yeah.
The rain, if you're on the track at the wrong time, and the rain suddenly either gets heavier or lighter, can really make or break your qualifying session.
Cornish is coming up to the last corner. He's currently 7.5 tenths up. Nicely done at the last corner. 1 second improvement. That's still 9 tenths down on the Legend, but probably
himself's a 10th up.
Oh, he's a 10th up as well, yeah. Nice little lock up there.
Big lock. Lucky not to invalidate that lap time there.
You can cut it as long as you're the right side of that bollard. You can cut it as much as you want.
Okay. That's interesting though, as the Legends runs wide. Interesting to know if people racing Legend this week.
It's the same with the corner before leading onto the long straight.
Yeah, especially that corner, yeah, do you want to get a good run onto the straight?
That one you want to
being in primary overtaking
miss.
point.
Yeah, the last 2 corners you want to completely miss the fucking curbs. Because whoa, because they've got those big lovely sausage curbs on the outside of them, which destable your car a lot.
Do you want to run us through the slightly
spread
out Q3?
Yeah, P1, provisional pole for Q2 is Evo in the Ferrari with a 134.5 on the mediums. Eyes in second, Pigeon on third, and fourth is Horizon. They're all on mediums. Varied times. And then we've got fifth is Legends, sixth is Cornish, seventh is Matty, they're on inters. In 8th is Sliver and me, he's on mediums, and in 9th is Grunty on inters, and unfortunately we didn't have a 10th for Q2. Luckily we have all 9 in Q3.
Yeah, surprising how 2 of them been in the dry, but nobody in the wet.
Very true, actually, when you say it like that. Oh, that looks like heavy weather. I think that's full wets, that. Yep, full wets.
Yep, they are all, yep.
I mean, just look at the puddles. That's enough.
Who's going to be the first to venture out? I think they'll still have time to do 2 runs, but they'll probably only get 1 lap on each run. But will they want to maybe do... I don't know how much of where.
You might as well just fill up your car for 8 laps and just go around.
Which is probably a sensible idea.
The tyre wear on the wets and the inters is hardly anything.
Yeah, you get slightly better. Oh, as Pigeons on inters, or is he just checking the delta between wet and inters? But yeah, I think it's probably to get the eye in a drive. Probably would want a few laps. You can't just do an out lap like in a dry time lap and in lap.
No, definitely.
And Horizon, yeah, Horizon's definitely not going to count on the softs there. Yeah, I think.
What is Pigeon doing? Is he? Oh, Pigeon is going out on the inters. The only man to go out on the inters. I don't think that's the right call, but I could be wrong.
Ooh, a slivering. Oh, slides like Colton Herter through the top of the, just coming down the hill. It catches it. Luckily, it's only an outlap. He's clearly pushing very hard on this outlap, which
just testing the grip.
He's trying to get, but you obviously don't want to test it too much and lose the back end. But I think it definitely, to me, on the face of it, looks too wet for inters.
Yes,
I think Pigeon's made a mistake here.
I think Pigeon might be peeling back into the pits and not even starting another lap. Because he's got so much understeer.
Yeah, the only reason I think he was done is maybe the delta on the game is maybe only a few tenths, and maybe it's getting less, as if within a few minutes we'll be able to inters. But yeah, it's definitely at the moment too early for inters.
He's losing the back end like anything.
Who's going to be the first on track? It's going to be Matty. So grab a TV shot and let's go through his lap. So coming to the final corner, how's he going to try and take a slide? I know it turns in quite early. I thought maybe take a better line to get the best exit. But I think in this rain, those are very marginal gains coming down the main straight.
This is actual
breaking the turn 1.
Proper torrential rain.
Yeah. He actually gets it stuck quite well into the apex of turn 1. And it just feels like almost he wasn't even flat out. He was barely only able to keep it flat out through turn 2 and through the first 2 S's, dropping down to 5th gear, missing the apex slightly, but able to get the turn in, a double right-hander. Coming up to the final few corners of the S's, seems like a very smooth sector 1 for Matty here. Does he get? Yeah, you have to be careful of that orange curve that can spin you out if you hit it at the wrong angle. Coming down the hill as we have a yellow flag, that just looks like, oh no, it looks like somebody has spun.
Matty, Pigeon has gone back into the pits. Sorry.
Yeah, it was a wrong control, but yeah. And Matty coming down to the other side, as we saw Slytherin had spun. It still looks like. Oh, now I was wondering why the red X is because there's somebody else in the pit lane, it's not low in fuel, but yeah, it looks like he's doing decent lap, get a turn in again. It seems like they're not struggling to get it turned in. Matty's doing a good job of keeping it on the racing line and hitting all the apexes. Obviously being the first one across the track. Oh, as he says, as I say that, he hits the apex too well and spins out. Easy, yeah, so that's Matty's first run gone, and it's going to overheat the tyres slightly. I believe it's going to be Cornish, the first one set at lap time. This is definitely not going to be flat out. I was wondering if he had to tap the brake, but luckily Cornish must have enough downforce to take that just about in 5th gear. Coming through the last 2 corners, does he? Ooh. I think those last two corners are going to be tricky for Cornish in the race, knowing his tendency to, let's say, push track limits to the limit.
Right,
yeah, Cornish with a. Oh, was that him on our lap? Or did he invalidate? That's fine. Okay. So, okay, why did Cornish. He must have invalidated, but Evo's the first driver to set the proper lap. Ooh, as he locked up into turn 1, but it goes 4 seconds quicker. We were seeing 144s and 143s in the inters, so I think that seems like right on the limit of probably what the wets are capable of. Anyone currently Horizon, let's see where he is at 112. I mean, that was matching what Cornish was, but I think Cornish must have invalidated. Oh, there's a lot of understeer Horizon coming through in the middle of sector stadium section. Gets it turned in, but misses the apex by quite a bit. But he can carry a lot of speed. Oh, as he has a bit of a back-end slide. As he drifts and he save it, and he can't save it. He's run out of room right next to the marshal's post. Luckily, there's no one coming, but gets it turned around. And yeah, in the wets, even in the inters, that corner is definitely not flat out through the long right-handed. So I think Horizon just pushes limit again. I think that's probably the second time he spun this session. When he almost loses it again. As I said, actually Legends has gone quickest only by 2 tenths, so far it's actually looking like Isaac Best might be on for a front row start on his return. Is he still pushing on his second lap? He's actually 6 tenths up. So does that mean the tracks as he runs very wide? Possibly the tracks getting slightly quicker if Isaac's able to find 6 tenths. Yeah, it's Cornish. Yeah, it's definitely getting quicker if Cornish is able to go quickest. so far by half a second he's currently top. And it's a big lock off for Legends, who's also 4 times up himself. Matty goes up to second. Evo must have made a slight mistake to be a second off. Oh, is it Legends? No. This is where I lose track of who's actually crossing the line. I think Slytherin's next. Slytherin goes to P7, 49.6, 2 tenths off Evo. I think next will be Legends. He's currently 7 tenths up. We would be put him on the 47.9 and could put him in a position for a provisional pole. Currently it's only half a tenth separating the top three of Cornish, Eyes and Matty. Legends really struggling to get any sort of grip in these wet conditions. Getting the track. Gets the apex. Oh, as he runs a bit wide, luckily not to invalidate on the exit of that corner there. Lock up on the inside. Good on him for running. ABS off. No, not many do, and he goes provisional pole by 7/10 of a second. As you see, Cornish 2/10 up. Looks like Cornish will be next to set another competitive lap time. Oh, he's invalidated. Eyes is matching his lap time, so really this is the point now. If drivers want to get back in the, if they want to do a second run, they have to sort of start heading for the pit lane now to give them a chance to have a fresh and out lap and a timed lap.
Yes, definitely.
Especially, and since you when you
Cornish
the,
has
the
spun.
times have definitely tumbled. Has he spun? Oh wow!
Yeah, he just spun out the tight hairpin.
And he's invalidated as well. So yeah, not great. Yeah. Not great to spin in that corner. I only know too well. As we see, Matty next across the line. Is he going to improve? He looks like he will by a tenth. Let's take P2 on the grid. I know Matty had a front row start earlier in Baku in the season. I think that's his only front row start of the season. So
Legend seems to have a nice little cushion.
Yeah.
Oh, wait 1 minute.
To say that.
Pigeon.
Yeah, Pigeon and Eyes. And obviously Pigeons, because that's his first time lap on slightly fresher tyres. And Horizon, I was like, he flicked over to Inters, but it's definitely still wet. It's too wet for Inters.
Oh, definitely.
Flick back onto wets.
I mean, if his first flying lap he did it at 47.7, he's still got a bit more pace to give.
Yeah.
A bit more time to gain.
We'll see him coming across the line now, a tenth and a half up. Still not in. He still needs to find another sort of 2/10 if he wants to be challenging pole. As he gets a good exit. Good run. Actually runs slightly off the apex, probably cost him a couple of hundredths not taking the shortest line. Especially even on this straight that's coming up, it's not really a straight, it's slightly curved, so every meter you're giving up, especially going to the left there, every meter you're giving up is an extra couple of milliseconds you're costing. And the grid being this close, a couple of milliseconds can be a difference between 1 or 2 places. So we see big lock up again, also running ABS off. It's going to be quite tricky in these conditions. 2.5 tenths up, we should put him on a 0.5, so he's still got to find another tenth. Yeah, these conditions are very tricky when running ABS off, and especially no traction control. Anyone running no traction control, if it's a wet start, will be very struggling, really struggling to get off the line. I found out last season, I think I dropped from 5th to 11th at turn 1 last season at a wet start, just because with even with medium traction which I was running then, it was just so difficult. Using all the track, as much track as possible, breaking it down into the apex. Can Pigeon, let's see, can he beat Legends? Yeah, by 3/10 as well. Find a lot of time in that last sector. Yeah.
Getting it out and swinging it about, as I was saying.
And Horizon's out. Is he? No, he's out on wets as well. Who's next? It's going to be one of the Red Bulls. Slithering a second up. I
don't think Legends has got time to set another lap. He's just come out of the pits with 1 minute 40 left.
Oh, he's going to have to do a push lap now. He's going to have to do a qualifying lap as his out lap.
And he almost lost it going to turn 1 as well.
Yeah, Matty did a 29-second sector 1. So he needs to hit 1 minute 18 at the sector timing line, which is here. I think Legends, if he does a push lap now, he'll have about 2 seconds to spare. So it's definitely going to be close.
I mean, he's
also,
not...
I was even watching Eyes, which is Eyes is even behind it. He's behind Eyes, so he's probably going to be
Yeah, he's behind.
He makes it. He's going to have this. So there's a few ahead, back off to try and give themselves a gap. He's going to be close.
And he's not using any ERS.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. But who's on the lap? Cornish coming in 10th up through sector 1. Actually, it's close between Cornish and Grunt. Grunt 2/10 down, so it's unlikely to improve. But Cornish could slot himself into even P4 or P3 with a good lap time here. No, he's lost a bit of time in the middle sector. He's now 200ths down, and he gets a bit of a slide. That's not going to find him time. So maybe it's worth Cornish. He's not even got time to back off really. If he wants to get round,
this is going to be
keep pushing.
Extremely close.
Yeah, the thing is, Legends is Matty retires in the pit lane.
Oh Go away, Sector 3 flags. I can't see the time.
Yeah, I'm going to cut on board as we cut on board with Legends. We see a checkered flag come out. Oh
2
no,
seconds
missed
short.
out by about a second, yeah.
Oh, unlucky.
That's a shame.
I knew it was going to be down
As we have
close.
eyes
I honestly
also
thought he
pit
had
lane.
no chance, but...
Evo, a second up in sector, or was that his last? No, that was his last time. Sorry, yeah. He gained a second on his last time to move. Actually, moved up into fifth, so that's a good, strong result by Evo so far. It's currently half a tenth up. Next going to be is it Horizon, or is it
Grunt? Yes, Horizon.
Horizon? Yeah.
Then Grunty.
Yeah, is he coming through the final two corners? Can he at least challenge, maybe get himself one or two more places on the grid? Bit
Nice
wide,
last corner.
struggling with a bit of understeer.
Ooh!
It goes third.
Nice.
Even with all that wheel
Maybe
spin,
the
a
track...
good result for...
Is the track improving?
Yeah, Evo's up. Let's cut back to Grunt. Grunt's at 10.5 up. So Grunt could still jump to fourth here. I think he needs about 2 tenths to get to fourth.
Yeah.
But if we saw like Horizon did, found some time in the last sector, maybe even see him shoot up to P3 if he really nails his final sector. Get to night line, gets right up, just kissing the orange curb, not touching it too much. Nice. Again here, yeah, but avoiding the orange curb. Perfect line, using all the track and
nice.
P4. Oh, 100 off Horizon.
So that last sector from Grunty was nice and smooth. It's corner spinning. He spun there again.
Up to a Pigeon.
Pigeon improved. He
was
already
that's what the white. Yeah, I didn't see him because his mini map was literally right on the back of Evo's gearbox.
8.
Which suggests the track's definitely getting quicker.
That would mean that the track's getting wetter, surely.
Or is it that it's getting towards inter conditions, maybe?
Maybe.
So, is it always Cornish? Comes across the line to finish the session with a 2-minute 3, but yeah, not enough to improve.
Well, it was very close qualifying in the end, with it being full wets. It was interesting. Q1 dries, Q2 inters, and Q3 full wets.
Yeah, so we have Pigeon managed to take pole by almost 6 tenths of a second. The early drivers are getting to 146s ahead of Legends. Horizon and Grunt will start on second though, separated by just 100 for the second. Evo and I is the best will start 5th and 6th, with Matty, Cornish and Sliver and me rounding out the rest of the top 9. So what are your predictions for this? Who are you going to put in as your dark horse of the race?
Sorry, the fire alarm's about to go off.
Clearly the fire alarm doesn't want to hear the dark horse, but I'm willing to take a risk, and I think Cornish and Sliver are going to do well from that. I think we know Cornish is definitely a lot quicker than maybe the 8th quickest in the league.
My prediction.
And we all know.
My prediction is Legends and Pigeon 1 or 2 either way around, and Grunty in third.
As we see, dry and barely a cloud in the sky. So as we get the grid up, as that will be. It looks like it's going to be dry to the end there. So all that dry knowledge, also all that wet knowledge is going to be out the window, and maybe advantage those who went out in Q1, having sort of got that wet line in their muscle memory. Might be a slight advantage on the first few laps. So far we see a bit of a mix-up on the grid with tyres so far. Half and half split, 5 on the mediums, actually 6 on the mediums now. I wouldn't be surprised if everyone goes to mediums by the time we start the session. It would be a big risk to start on the softs here. I found when I was practicing, because the tyre wear on the high fuel, you can really only get to about lap 7 or 8, which then means you have to sort of do a soft hard. Soft medium isn't really possible, but medium soft is. At the end of the race, you can do about 10 laps on them. At the start of the race, only 6 or 7.
I think if you get a safety car, you can definitely do a soft medium.
Yeah, we got a safety car yesterday on the first lap, and I did. I think, Cornet, who's my teammate, Ali Ferrari, did softs to about lap 13 or 14, and then took mediums to the end. As we see, everyone has now switched over to mediums. Not really making as much fun on the strategy side, but yeah, can someone risk it with softs?
Come on, someone stick some hards on.
I struggled with the hards this week. I found they were sort of a bit too high. They really lacked pace. I found yesterday in the mediums, I was doing, what did I pick, about lap 20, about at 17 or 18 laps, I was still lapping within sort of 2/10 of my PB. The mediums are very strong tyres around here. They're very durable. Do about 20 laps, I believe. Hush, actually, you were saying earlier, soft medium is possible. Hush pitted on lap 1, took mediums to the end, and apparently only had 78% tyre wear,
Wow.
which I don't believe because I pitted on lap 20 and had 70%. So he must have really been kind of his tyres. I thought I was fairly good with my tyre wear, but
Yeah,
he must have
usually you
literally
are.
been nursing them. Yeah, he must have literally been hugging them, especially all had a very good setup. I was sort of struggling a bit with tyre heat, which especially for the first sector, if you start to overheat the tyres for the last few corners, the S's can really cost you. As you see, corners has actually gone to softs, and he's also started a session, so we should be going in 30 seconds time.
Nice.
Am I able now? I'm not able to see anybody while we're sitting
See,
here.
is there any point in us doing a grid rundown on the formation? We've already done it at the end of Q3.
Yeah, there's not much, unless not even worth talking for the tyres. Is there? We've only really got.
We've already talked about the tyres.
Last second. Yeah, Cornish has stuck with softs actually.
Saying that, for the next game, I don't know if it's available on multiplayer, but there is this new immersive formation lap, an immersive safety car. So like on the formation lap, instead of you doing it like they are now, it'll cut to like a crofty and talking about the race type thing. Like, you know how they do when you play single player and go into like a race weekend and they start talking stats and stuff like that. That's what it kind of does.
That could be, but unless they use, do you not get like a select your own driver name before when you first load into the game for the very first time?
I don't know.
Maybe they'll use that for multiplayer.
Maybe. But I know.
Yeah,
I know they do if you do a normal, like a manual formation lap, you actually have to now, park in your grid spot, and your grid spot isn't highlighted or anything. You just have to remember where it is. And if you don't park in your grid spot, it teleports you to your grid, to your spot, but you lose tire heat.
Well, yeah, I've also seen it drops you back about sort of a metre behind where you actually front of your grid spot is, which can be a big difference on the start.
And you've also got the immersive pit stops as well.
Yeah, that's also going to be a difference, especially for the undercut. But yeah, if I just run through the grid very quickly, we've got Quirky in the 11th, in the Williams, Tornado and Mercedes in 10th, Slivering in the Red Bull in 9th, Cornish in the McLaren in 8th, Matty in the Alfa Tauri in 7th, Isa Best in the Aston Martin in 6th, Evo in the Ferrari in 5th, Grunty in the Aston Martin in 4th, Horizon P3 in the Red Bull, Legends another Mercedes in the P2, and Pigeon Munch taking another pole position in P1. And I'm about to sneeze, so hopefully it doesn't time it just as the lights are going out. So as you see them all line up.
Yep.
I wonder. No, I was going to say how those first few grids are all. They're all in the sun. People at the back might be in the shade.
It's going to be really interesting, like the first couple of league races on the next game where people can't find their grid spot. It's going to be so hilarious to watch it and stream that.
Yep.
Dun, 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 dun.
Okay, I don't have a. Oh, there we go. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights. And it's go, and a good start for Legends. He's managed to jump up to get a good start, good shot here. Yep, he's managed to squeeze out Pigeon. And actually, it's Cornish is up to P4 already. He's done another, like McLaren yesterday with Vettel, up to P3 already. And he's side by side with Horizon. Is he good? Horizon just squeezes him out. And we have Evo, not a great camera shot, Evo, and side by side. There's still a few Tornadoes trying to go around the outside. This is a great camera shot. Tornado in P8, battling. Actually, already we see a small gap starting to form already behind Pigeon Munch. Actually, to realise why Cornish had such a good start, he's on the softs. So he's got to make those work now. If he gets stuck behind somebody for too long, he's going to end up really costing him. So he's going to have to get a good exit here. Hope really push past Horizon quickly. 2/10. he's not going to be close enough. He's got to have to really sense it if he wants to make the move down and move up to P3. He's using up all his EOS. He sense. Oh, is he going to get stopped in the corner?
Nice.
Just about.
I say, as you was.
It's surprising.
Go on.
I was going to say it's surprising he wasn't going to. I thought he was going to try and keep running outside, but he didn't.
Yeah, as you was talking about what was going on at the front, on the exit of turn 1, Ollie's the best, squeezed Evo quite nicely on the exit of turn 1, and then he just went through the middle of Grunty, and it was almost 3 wide going through turns 2, but no contact, and they've all sorted themselves out now.
Yeah, you see the best starters. Cornish made 5 places, Tornado and Quirky made 2, and then Horizon, Grunty and Pigeon have all lost 1. As you Cornish going for the move for P2, is he going to get stuck? Pigeon holding on the outside, who have the inside for turn 2.
Cornish should have this.
Fresh, soft. It's really tight. That on this new game where they've got rid of a lot of the downforce, not all of these corners as fast as they were before. A lot more lifting is involved.
Yes.
Especially that long right hand in the last sector, especially on one tyres that's not flat out. So it's Cornish gonna chase the leader down. Legends. He's got a sticker in DRS for the next lap, and then what would Legends do? Is he worth battling a Cornish who knows probably isn't on the same strategy?
I don't think he is.
Or does he try and hold him up?
No, I think he lets him pass. Sticks within his DRS, because I mean those tyres are going to overheat in the next 1 or 2 laps, and then the best tyre to be on will be the medium. By that time, I mean the Legend's probably got the pace to keep up and keep within a second. That's what I would do. That way you're saving ERS instead of using it.
And especially seeing that Pigeon's already dropped out of DRS from Cornish. One thing, with it being no clouds, it's going to hurt the tyre temperatures, so Cornish is going to be really struggling. See, even he's gaining, look how much understeer he's having to lift, that long right hand on the, see how much he's struggling already, on the heavy fuel, on the softs, in the heat, really burn through the tyre wear, as we see Evo and Tornado going side by side. Let's watch from Quirky's view. 2 of them side by side. And Tornado got the overlap? No, he hasn't.
Is it the back of Legends? I don't know if that's damage. Let's have a little look. Don't see damage.
As we saw. This might be 4 wide now. It's a lot of battling here.
Tornado's lost
a bit of squeak. And he's got damage as
I
well.
don't know if he was side by side with anyone, or just a bit of a weird spot to spin it.
Yeah, they were battling quite a bit. A few of them are sort of side by side through turn 1 got squeezed, sort of when that's sort of not a glitch, but that the physics when the wheels interlock and you can't steer.
You weren't
that
around when
2 of them.
You weren't around when there was side pod glitch, was there?
I was, but not league racing. But so I do remember that. But just doing 5 lappers. That was actually Cornish gone for the lead. Sorry, I didn't realise we were discussing the good old days.
The good
Cornish
old
and
days.
Grunty have both made moves for the lead. Yeah, we actually remember watching a race here, not just chatting. I think Sliven might get a move as well. No, he's not. But yeah, Pigeon. I think Legends task is start to break away from Pigeon. It's 1.3 gap at the moment. If he can keep it out, let Cornish pull him along for a few laps, and just break a few seconds.
He's gone very wide there.
Yeah, the tyre temperatures just don't like that corner on the softs.
Yeah, he's definitely struggling with tyre temps. He's getting a lot of understeer and a lot of oversteer actually coming out. And if he keeps running that wide, he's going to be picking up penalties as well.
Well, I think it's not for Cornish. It's not a matter of if he will; it's when he will. Yeah. You start taking it as again, or even running that wide, missing the apex. The thing is, when the driver head starts to make these small mistakes, it then starts to affect you as well, because you're sort of having to keep at 5% concentration on is the car head going to be running wide, and we're going to have to make a move or battle him. Whereas if you have a clean race who's just very smooth and consistent, you can just focus on your own lines. But actually, Legends might drop out of DRS here.
Just a bit of information, but it has 20% more EOS. Actually, even more than that now, because Cornish just burnt a bit.
Yeah, I found out here yesterday it's quite easy to actually save it when you're not battling. When you are battling, it's quite difficult, as you see. Both Eyes and Grunt will have DRS this lap. I think Grunt's too far back, but I think Eyes is going to make the move on the horizon. Actually, let me add penalties up now.
I definitely think.
Let's go for the move.
I definitely think mediums are a better tyre now, because Legends just gained basically 2 tenths on the X of the corner to that long straight with the DRS is the back straight.
Yeah, I think traction as well. Did anyone else make a move? Oh, Sliven hits the back of Evo. I think maybe Sliven braked a bit too late there. But yes, so far my guess or my previous predictions is half right, half wrong. Currently Cornish is up to first. Sliven's still near the back, but making some good progress battling with Evo.
Cornish,
And again, another lap, Legends.
yeah,
He's got the
he
again.
needed to push then though. He needed to push in. Cornish really pushed in that third sector and he got about a 1.1 gap. And Legends had to really push it into the last 2 corners.
Sliven, I think Sliven must have got damaged there. Sadly, he coming out just after the right hand hairpin. After the long back straight, he braked a bit too late, and yeah, we see a front wing change. Soft's okay, so it's pretty good to go soft and then medium, which seems like a sensible strategy. Use those softs, maybe build a gap a bit closer, make up that time he's lost from the rear wing change, front wing change. But Sliven and Toledo both going to have to hope for a safety car now to make anything work from this race.
Yeah. No, see, I'm watching the Legend Cornish battle at the moment, and Legend seems to be gaining the traction zone, but Cornish is pushing away, should I say, in corners.
So maybe Cornish just running a bit higher wings. So even with DRS, Legends only sort of gained about 4 tenths on that straight, which I would have thought maybe less Legends is really just saving his DRS. As actually Grunt's got past Pigeon. Pigeon seems to be struggling here. He's not really had the pace. Seeing that he was on pole position, so I wonder whether he took a slightly wetter setup to try and guarantee pole position. But the fact that Legends got him at turn 1 has sort of hampered him. He's not able to sort of stick with the front 2.
Well, that would make sense. Like, he was very close to Legends and Cornish, and then as soon as Cornish over to Pigeon, Legends just pulled away. So there is something definitely up with setup because he's not 5 seconds slower than Legends.
No, because it's already, as we see Horizon go wide, yeah, he's already 4 seconds off Legends, which would sort of be the person he's met. He should really be battling. He's battling in the championship actually.
There's only 20 points difference.
He wants to be focused on, yeah. As you see, Eyes struggling on the traction of the curve on turn 1, but allows Horizon just to keep up with him. Oh, so I thought Horizon was going to have a look through the S's, but I think he just took a slightly different line there.
Yeah, there.
As you see, actually, Legends a lot closer this lap.
Yeah, Legends medium definitely the better time now. He's gained loads in sector 1 on this lap.
Yeah. I think if he doesn't make a move now, the 2 behind will probably work together and pull up towards him.
Yep. Legends isn't using no ERS, so.
I see that it's actually fairly easy. Cornish, I don't think.
Cornish tries to come back at him around the outside. But Legends was like, no, thank you, sir. Look, Cornish.
What's that damage? I
That
didn't see any debris. Okay, that's he's corner cut straight, sort of. There, so he didn't got a penalty.
If that's not damage, then he's lucky because that's lucky. Twice he's done that now. He's rear end. Yeah, he's got damage.
He's got a heli cam, so I didn't see, but yeah.
He's got no visual
the
damage.
The only good thing for Cornish is it's in his pit window now. I think it's probably the earliest he could get pit and get away with finishing. Again, it's going to cost him 7 seconds pitting, and 7 seconds is going to put him around the quirky eyes battle. Yeah, when all the pit stops shuffle out.
Unfortunately, he just carried too much speed into that corner, and yeah, just underestimated how much less speed Legends had, should I say. But yeah, he's on to a set of mediums now. 21 laps.
Just about possible, I think, if he's careful.
Is he banking on a safety? Is he banking on a safety car?
I think he has to. Yeah, I think if he doesn't, he's going to probably be looking at maybe, especially with his penalty, he'll be lucky at top 5 without a safety car. And actually, a safety car will also hurt him with his penalty. And one thing Cornish always says to me is he doesn't like a late safety car because when he's got 5 or 6 seconds more penalties than everyone else, it's sort of just puts him at last.
Like I was going to say earlier, unfortunately lost our dear penalty king Michaels. He's unfortunately left the league, but we have a replacement, Cornish.
Yeah,
he openly admits it.
As Quirky goes past Horizon, Yeah, and I think Invade also is looking at, again, almost hit the back of it, Quirky. He's going to go have a dive into the, not the great camera angle, but he's got the inside line.
Nice fight side by
And
side.
Eyes and Matty are also queuing up. You can take a very different line for this corner here.
Trying to switch back. No, didn't work.
Yeah, right. No, it's just even on the outside, it's long right-hander. You can't really get to go 2x2. It's just too fast to make anything really work on the outside. But yeah, good battling there. And this now becomes sort of a 4-car train for P4. So if anyone think what's to happen for the leaders, we see Pigeon and Grunt go side by side. If anyone wants to happen to the front three, that would be a battle for the podium.
Definitely. I mean, Grunty again he's looking strong.
Yeah, I didn't realise, but until he spoke to me last week, that he's actually third in the championship. I didn't realise he was doing that well. He's been one of those drivers who are quietly consistent, picking up the points. I think he's only had one win, but he's just picking up those points here and there, and it's just outside of title contention.
In the last 4 or 5 races, he's been on the podium 4 times. Yeah, something like that.
He's done a very good job, just picking up the points, not making mistakes when other drivers do it, and just quietly, he's solidly finished at least third. In the concluded races, he could still get next second.
He's quietly leaving that option open for a title fight.
Yeah, but we've still got. Actually, we're starting to get towards the end of the season. I think after this week, there's only 5 races left. So.
Is that all?
And then the calculator will start to come out for the chapter contenders, trying to figure out.
We lost Russia as well, didn't we?
Yeah. And actually, I didn't realise new game comes out in about 6 weeks.
Yeah,
7 weeks.
Of July.
So, yep. So make sure if you've ordered that, just order it and sign up when the sign-ups go out at the start of the new season, which will probably be sometime in the first week of July.
But if you pre-order now, you can play it on the 26th.
Yeah, I still need to pre-order it, so that's one of the things I keep forgetting to do.
I've already pre-ordered it.
And if you're new to RSF1, you can always join the league. First time watching us, join the league through our Twitter link. There's a link in our bio. We are at Racing Series F1 on Twitter, I believe, or at RSF1. You'll find us somewhere. Just search lots of different stuff. You'll find us eventually.
If you just put RSF1 in a Google search, I think we're the second one.
Or Xbox F1 League as well. Yep. If you search Xbox F1 League, we're the top search at the moment.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's plenty of ways you can find us, or you can just message somebody who's seen this race. They'll probably send you the right way on Xbox. As you see, Pigeon is definitely a lot closer this time. He might get another run.
Become #1 search for Xbox League.
I don't know how we've done that. I think we just got a very good website. Tim and I can also done a good job building a website, as we see.
Yes.
Grunt, not even going into 8th gear. I'm surprised he almost let Pigeon pass there, as Pigeon locks up. He didn't even go into 8th gear until Pigeon got well past him. He was revving out a lot.
I think he's realised that Pigeon's been following him and saving up, because Pigeon's on 95% ERS, whereas Grunt is now down to 60. So I think he's let Pigeon pass to be able to save some, maybe.
Don't we see? I know. I was going to say, did the game noise used to show the last lap time as one of the options on the screen? Because I'm going to see, I'm sure Legends is pulling away. All I can see is fastest lap time. Actually, fastest lap times. Pigeon, yeah, was only 6/10 off Legends' fastest lap time. He's still a long way off. He's still losing time.
Okay, maybe Pigeon is pushing. Maybe Pigeon is pushing because Pigeon seems to be pulling away from Grunty.
Yeah, and also the thing is, we now get into pit stop phase. I believe a pit stop is about 19 seconds. So that's one of the things the leaders have to watch out for. If they do pit now, they don't want to end up in traffic and get caught out trying to do the undercut but get stuck behind a slower car for a lap.
Definitely.
Especially the likes of Quirky, Horizon and Matty. But yeah, I think if Legends was to pit now, he'd come out about 2 to 3 seconds behind Evo. But he's clearly got a comfortable gap anyway.
But that's the kind of gap you want to get into, really. Because then you're behind everyone that's going to pit, and the people behind you have already pitted.
Actually, Grunt, I was trying to compare the top speed. Grunt's only about 5 or 6 miles an hour quicker with DRS and slipstream, which makes me think he's running a slightly higher downforce setup.
Yeah, that makes me think it's like 11 on the rear.
Yeah, I was running 811. I know most other drivers running sort of 811, 911,
I'm running
which
9.8.
oh wow, okay. Have fun with the
It's not
front and
very
not
fast.
oversteering. So,
It's
no,
not very fast.
but on the straights you're going to be zooming past everyone.
Yeah.
Or as pigeon. Oh,
Okay, pigeon pits.
okay.
Fair
That must
hards.
be for the hards. Or the two. I found the two stop wasn't really that quick just because the softs overheat too quickly. Let's see, is it going to be the one stop or the two stop? It is the one stop. I think that unless Pigeon has known he's been struggling on the mediums, so has to do something different. But
Yeah.
that's is he actually where's Cornish? No, it's actually no, it might
It's
be
going to be
because
close.
obviously Pigeon's gonna have the slower line. Cornish might still get into DRS by the end of the lap with the cold tyres of Pigeon. So the hards, yeah, they're not great round here. I wouldn't be surprised if Cornish has got DRS by the end of Sector 1.
Yeah.
It's 1.3 at the moment.
So there you go. That's 1.5 tenths already.
Yeah. And also Cornish ties up the temperature. I think that's unless the tyres are really overheating, it's a really hot day, obviously we can't see the temperatures. Unless it's a really hot day and they're struggling with tyre temperatures, I think that's the wrong call by Pigeon.
You think you should have gone to meet?
If I was in their position, I would have gone to about lap 18 or 19 and then gone to softs. Yeah. And keep an eye out. What's the gap? It's currently 24 seconds to the leader for Pigeon. That's sort of a magic number we need to look out for. And the one person that does make cost is Grunty. Grunty now has no one to pull him along with DRS.
Legend doesn't pick.
He's lost. Yeah, Grunt's lost a second and a half in the last 2 laps to Legends. The fact that he now has no DRS, so I think as he has a bit of a back end kick out of the last corner.
Yep. I'm going to say
as
this is
Matty
probably
picks up his first
Legends
penalty.
to lose at the moment.
Or we don't say that because I think as soon as you say that, and if he does lose it, there'll be only one person who get blamed.
Commentator's curse isn't a real thing. I can't influence a driver's decisions or actions.
You know, and the thing is, at least if they do have a stream on, at least they can have a go at us. if we don't, if it's not our fault. But yeah, I think Legends is definitely in the hot seat.
I don't claim any responsibility for any action of any driver on this grid.
If you're in the lead of about 7 seconds, do you start to not lift off, but do you start to take it 95%? Do you start to lift a bit early for the high-speed corners?
Yeah, you when you've got a gap like that, there goes another. Oh, Legends picked up for a second, and
he's clearly not going at 100. He's not lifting off, and as we see, ISS going for a P4 on Horizon. But yeah, I think
that extra penalty there could be the fact that he is lifting or not going 100%, because obviously right now he's picked a rhythm up of pushing. Once you break that rhythm of like going a bit easier, that's when mistakes can happen. But he's definitely not
when
pushing.
You've got a penalty, a late safety car when you've got a penalty can really affect you, especially if it's with 2 to 3 laps to go.
Yeah.
Actually, it's Cornish on 6 or 0 on 9. Only 6 so far, so it's not too bad for him as we see. Rise in pit. So this must be for hards, unless no, medium soft from here just wouldn't work. You wouldn't get enough time on those tyres, so I think this must be for hards.
Isn't it 15 laps?
Oh, no, he's on softs. Okay. So softs about lap. Okay, that's
soft.
If I was on a 2-stop, I would have pitted about 2 or 3 laps to go, because now he's not going to maximise the tyres. He's maybe going to get 6 or 7 laps on his tyres. I think he will probably have to go soft.
Yeah, 8 laps.
Remember,
8 and 8.
Yeah, was Horizon one of those who got knocked out in Q1 as well? Or was it no? It was no. Quirky.
No, he crashed in Q1.
Oh, anyway, it was wet anyway, so it wouldn't matter. I think they would only use.
No, that was Tornado. So yeah, he was through to Q3.
We can see, look at the time he's gaining on Cornish just through the first sector. You see now he's getting about 4 tenths already just through that first sector on those fresh softs. And Cornish tyres aren't too old, but yeah, I think it's going to be soft to the end, which could pay out if there's a late safety car for Horizon.
Definitely. And he's penalty free.
Yeah, that's another good point. Actually, might my driver of the day so far, if it is who I think it is, has he gained... I don't know where the button is. You can tell I've not done this that often. How many
Places
positions has...
games, let me have a little look.
Yeah.
Details.
Yeah, it's Quirky. Yeah, Quirky was one of those who did over time in
Yep.
Q1. He's now currently up to P3. Oh, a penalty for Grunt. I've lost my intervals, so that's not great.
Yeah,
so
I've lost mine as well.
Guess who's
I've lost
battling
mine
as well. So yeah, I think that's definitely going to... Actually, can I... You can tell this is the first time I'm streaming, I'm sort of guessing where all the buttons are. No, that's not it. That's just... Okay, we can... Okay, penalties, there we go. Yes, actually... Quirky and Pigeon, even though I think Pigeon's strategy is not the best, he's definitely in the position at the moment where I think anything happens later on, he could maximise that with no penalties. It's Slytherin. It's that Slytherin retiring from the race. Yeah, I think... I don't know whether how far Tornado is behind him, but I think...
Why would you retire when you're in the points?
Yeah. I know, yeah, it's a shame for Red Bull as well, but I think... Was he the one that got wing damage early on as well? AR, yeah. I can't remember, so yeah. But yeah, I can understand maybe retiring with 2 or 3 laps to go when you're out of the points if there's no safety car, but this early on, there's always a chance of a safety car. Yesterday we had 9 drivers, we had a safety car and 2 retirements, so it's always a possibility, but yeah, we can't force people to stay in the race.
I just don't see the point of turning up to races and retiring like that.
Yeah.
I just think it's pointless, waste of a seat.
Yeah. And this AI's gone a long way. Is it AI actually driving around? It's almost in half the first sector. It stopped about turn 4. But yeah, I can't see the gaps. I don't know who's close or not.
Mine
it looks like Grunt.
F again.
7 seconds now. 4.3 to Quirky. So it's starting to build up a gap. It looks like maybe Cornish.
Matty is right behind Eyes.
And actually, Cornish on those mediums has got within DRS of Pigeon, who's on those hards. So I think that could help us Horizon. Fastest lap. A 35.0. That's a pretty quick lap. Yeah, that's. Who's next quickest? Looks like Cornish, the only other driver in the 35. So it's the second quicker than most drivers. Fastest laps there. So I think within a few laps he might be up with Cornish, who's now lost DRS. Obviously with Cornish's penalties, Horizon is in a net P7.
Yes, he is.
But this race definitely, this safety car could definitely try and definitely to commentate his Curse's race. A safety car would definitely spice this race up a bit.
I don't care about commentator's curse. I want a safety car. Get the grid back together.
Yeah, and especially this point in the race. If there's a safety car now, what would you do?
What would I do? Pit for softs.
Yeah, especially those who start on mediums. You think you could get soft? I think you could just about. It'd be tough.
I don't know if I could, but I'd give it a try.
Yeah, I was getting about 6% a lap. I think about 13 laps. Yeah, it's probably just about doable, especially because you've got a few laps under the safety car. But obviously, that always makes, especially around here, soft start off sort of Cornish quite quickly. So I think that it would definitely be a mix-up strategy. So
definitely,
it's sort of the right time. If you get a safety car, would be good. So I've not been reading the chat. I want to see actually what's going on. Oh, hello, Rage Quit. Good to see you in the chat. And Gravedigger. Hash drivers. We don't have any hash drivers today. I believe in Div 2. Who are the hash drivers? JJ Hudson, he's not racing today, but yeah. Obviously, if you're out there, we have got a couple of seats free, especially in our quickest tiers. So if you're a quick driver, or actually if you're any sort of driver, as long as you're clean, if you want to join RSF1, message anybody. So either RSF1 Cornish, you can see this race, or go to the Racing Series F1 Twitter page. And there's a link to our Discord on there. Actually, Evo, I think Eyes must have made a mistake there. It looked like he's got throwing damage.
Eyes?
Yeah, Eyes, he's had to cut. He's cut the S's, he's got.
Just change my batteries. There. Eyes.
Yeah, he's got no throwing. He's really struggling. He must have made a mistake.
Oh no.
Hey. Yeah, it's a shame. He had such a good qualifying. He's having such a good race as well. He just pitted as well.
Was that a turn 1? Because that is.
I think so. Yeah.
Such a bad spot to have. But I mean, everyone's going to be in points now if you make it to the end.
Yeah, I know Eyes. I thought he maybe spun on cold tires, but he's not. But at least he's now in the window. I think if you can hear us, yeah. As we see Legends Pit, I assume that's at softs. We are banging the window for soft tyres now.
Yeah, those mediums are definitely
And,
looking a bit warm.
yeah. I didn't realise Grunty as well had pitted.
Oh yeah.
And actually, Horizon.
Hornish and Grunty.
If Horizon go to the end, Horizon might be on for P2 or P3 here. Because Grunty ahead is on softs.
You gonna get back on the track there, pal?
Yeah. As you see, Cornish starting to struggle now. But yeah, I think if Horizon gets to the end, he's obviously with Grunty. He was battling for the lead earlier.
Yeah.
So he's put himself in a good position to get the undercut 3 laps early if he can get his tyres to the end. Which was 16 laps. I think possibly not, as we have a yellow flag. Is that Legends off?
No, it is as well. Oh!
What did you? Oh!
Grunty's
and
just gone into the back, and this has to be a safety car. Come on, safety car.
Wow, what was... So we were saying it was Legends to lose, and a safety car.
Legends spun it. Well, I didn't see him spin it. You said he spun, so I came onto him.
Yeah.
Safety car. Full safety car.
Yeah. I got onto Legends' Legends' car just as a sort of front wing flight over his head.
That's what I got.
Yeah. Yeah, unlucky for Grunt. I think that's one of those things where, especially with the S's, he was not right behind Cornish, or he was right behind Pigeon Munch. Probably unsighted, didn't see the car.
Missed that.
I think Cornish, yeah, very lucky, but it's played right into Pigeon's hands as well. Pigeon can pit off those
this
hards.
This is played into Matty's hands in first place.
Yeah, it's a shame Matty's got a penalty.
Yeah.
I think Quirky is going to be in the lead because did Legends get wing damage?
Quirky's left, Grunt is left.
Oh, do you say Quirky's left of the session? Do you want to get him back in there?
Yeah.
Because I think he's going to be a net P3, possibly, as we do see Matty come into pit lane. Hopefully his AI doesn't do anything silly.
Well, he's offline, but...
Don't say his AI pitting onto softs. His AI is going to pit onto mediums, I assume. That's just such a shame for Quirky. He was running in a net P2 or P3, his AI's come in.
Quirky's on sauce?
No, but his AI's just come in and pitted him onto mediums. I hope, so either he's got to stay out for his mediums or pit again.
Oh no, those mediums are
right
17 laps old.
This game is just...
These mediums are 17 laps old. Look at his front tyres and look at the tyre life.
I assume he has another set of mediums. Why would the game do that? Put him on the scrubbed mediums rather than... Oh, that's why I always went...
Because he's already been on the first set. But yeah, why wouldn't you put that set back on?
Why? There must be a... Even if he probably used them in Q1 or Q2 maybe, but they've still only been 2 or 3 laps old. You thought a 2 or 3 lap medium. That's a shame. See, Quirky, even if he hadn't pitted, he would have been in the lead. Actually, Matty's in the lead.
Yeah, because everyone behind him pitted.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Did Legends pit as well? He must have had damage. Or really overheated his tyres and shorted fresh tyres after his spin.
Legends.
But yeah, that's a shame for Quirky. He's going to drop. I think by the time the pack catches up, Eyes and Tornado would have caught up as well.
Legends had a front wing change.
Yes, he must have got damage.
Yeah.
I wonder whether he had damage when he spun. He must have hit the wall and bounced back onto the track, maybe.
So does that mean Quirky's L is going to pit him again?
I think he's back in the session now, but yeah, it's a shame. He's going to drop 2. Depending on how I think even if the 2 behind at the back of the pack who are catching up are too far behind or too close, that they'll catch up by the time Quirky pits. That's a shame. Quirky's going to drop from what would have been probably second or third on fresh softs.
He needs to pit again.
9th. Yeah, he needs. Actually, Horizons.
That
also
sucks.
Obviously, that's his choice. But yeah, Horizons.
Yeah, they're fresh.
That could be an interesting choice if the 2 ahead, or who both have penalties, struggle towards the end of the race on the overheated and worn tyres.
See, that's the one thing
could get Horizon podium here.
Yeah, that's the thing we don't know, the track temperature.
Yeah,
being in America,
normally
I'm expecting it to be hot.
Yeah, especially with it normally being quite no clouds as well. Normally, the game, yeah, as we see Quirky.
Unlucky Quirky, man.
Jumping past,
that freaking sucks.
That's what I always hate when the AI, when you sort of do an alternate strategy, or when it's sort of you going a bit longer than what the game thinks is possible. I always wonder if I or worried if I disconnect, is it going to mess up my strategy? So yeah, it's a shame for Quirky. Back onto those softs and down to P9. If he can take any sort of solace from that, he's got 1 lap fresher tyres. But I assume safety car will be in this lap. He'll be a 9-lap shootout. But yeah, I think 9 laps is sort of the borderline of what these softs do before the mediums start to get the overlap in terms of tyre advantage. So I think last 2 or 3 laps, Horizon will be the quickest driver on track, assuming he keeps it clean. With no penalties. Actually, do you want to run us through just the front few, how many warnings they're currently on? Just to see if anyone's close to a penalty, especially the likes of Horizon and Pigeon, who have no penalties at the moment.
Matty's 1 warning away from another penalty. Cornish is 1 warning away from another penalty. Horizon is 1 warning away from a penalty. Legends is 1 warning away from penalty. Pigeon is absolutely squeaky clean, no warnings. Don't know how.
Unsurprising. He's normally quite good with his penalties.
Evo has 3 warnings, so I'm thinking that 1 warning is probably maybe a little bit of contact.
Yeah.
I always have 1 warning to go before he gets penalty. Tornado, 1 warning to another penalty. Quirky, 1 warning to another penalty. 22.
That's it.
Yeah.
Planty's out. So yeah, so everyone's close and on softs. You're obviously pushing fast, especially in the pack battling. I think a lot of penalties to come, so it's all to play for here.
Yeah.
It's definitely not over. As you see, Matty, I can't remember the last time he had a safety car restart. To be fair, Matty's not normally lead the pack, so he's probably not used to this. So what was his Cornish? Where did he try and go? If I was him, I would try and go on the second apex of the second to last corner.
Basically,
so you sort of get a bit of a jump.
The whole grid about 1 warning away from a penalty.
Yeah, apart from Pigeons, that's why I think he's
apart from Pigeon.
Matty's gone already. Matty's gone. He's caught Cornish slightly unawares, not unawares, but got a slightly better start. But for on ERS. As we see it,
Quirky,
Legends going for P3 as he got it stuck. Not a great angle here. I can't find any good angle. We're getting nose cam. I don't really like nose cam, but yeah, we see move. And I see Tornado also get past Eyes the Best. Is he going to? Okay, it didn't take Cornish that long then. Some of these TV angles aren't great around this track. I think they're a bit too far out.
Oh,
both of them.
Penalty.
Both the lead. I've been taking the unders again. It's just penalties for days here. Everyone gets penalties. It's the open Woodford meme.
If anything, that safety car's helped Legends.
Yeah, as bit of a strange place for Pigeon. I think Horizon on the mediums is just struggling a bit. But we're going to go 3 wide for the lead. None of them using ERS, but actually Legends down to 50% already after just half a lap.
Yeah,
he's obviously burning it to get past early on.
Yeah, so currently we've got Matty with 6 seconds and Cornish with 9. And Legends
I
with
think
3.
they're both out of it. I think those top 2, unless they literally keep it clean to the end and everyone else picks up 1 or 2 more, their chances of podium are probably gone.
Yeah,
I think Evo's the next one to catch up to Horizon. I think Horizon's a bit of a sitting duck here.
If it's all kept clean, and I honestly think Horizon could win this.
I think so. I think keep the pace up as we see Matty fight his lap of 34.2. Pretty quick lap as we see. No, Cornish isn't really getting a run. I think they're all saving that ERS. Cornish on 80%, Matty on 70, Legends on 57. They're all going to be saving it for the first lap of DRS, which will be the next time by. As Cornish didn't seem that stable through the S's, seemed a bit sort of loose the rear end, doesn't maybe... it was him earlier who suggested was running a bit less downforce, I think.
Yeah.
Is he going to keep it on track this time? Just about, surprisingly. But he's 3 tenths back. Do you go for a move now with no DRS, burn up your ERS, but then be sort of caught next lap, or do you stick behind and wait another lap?
I'd
get the likes of Legends overtaking.
I'd stick behind unless I had no choice.
Yeah, Legends is 9 tenths back, so I think Cornish.
And that Cornish looks like
Could
he's
be
going
side by
for it.
But Matty defends the inside line.
On the outside, he's got it before the corner.
Oh, but yes, Matty defended well to the inside, but Cornish just had the straight line speed.
But did Matty give that up knowing that he's got 3 more seconds in him? Because that's what I would have done.
If Matty can stick with DRS, I think he'll be able to get that back. Run this track, especially the back straight DRS, you gain so much time. If you can stick with DRS, it's a lot, maybe half a second a lap DRS can gain you.
Yeah.
But he's already 7 tenths out. The front 3 are starting to stretch it out a bit, or 7 or 8 tenths. And yeah, we see Pigeon still in that DRS strain, and within 3 seconds of Legends. Is currently on penalties. It's currently a net P1 for Pigeon, P2 for Horizon, and Legends P3. But that's obviously all to change as more penalties are applied.
Horizon needs to put his foot down a little bit. He's 2 seconds behind Pigeon.
Yeah, I think the medium gamble's not working yet. He needs to keep pushing. As Cornish, unsurprisingly, is now okay. That's pretty much off to Narnia there. He's almost in the next day over. Might as well be racing Miami already. It's just that line he took out of the corner. But yeah, he gained about half a second there, and that's a very defensive line, seeing that Matty has no DRS. Pretty much the very far left of the circuit. But and Legends got past Matty. Actually, Matty's struggling, I think, with top line speed. As Legends locks up, yeah, Matty seems to be, as he runs wide.
There's another.
That's a shame. That's a bit of a harsh penalty. Got a bit of oversteer, went about half a centimetre off the track, and that's costing. I think that's going to cost. Yeah, I think Matty's aim now is to stick within 3 seconds of Cornish. Oh, as Matty really loses the back end there, is that going to allow Pigeon to run? No, Pigeon's a bit too far back, but Matty's now out of DRS. I wouldn't be surprised if Pigeon gets a run into turn 1 here.
Yeah.
DRS for Matty, DRS for Pigeon. Actually, Pigeon's burning up his DRS. Legend's fastest lap. He's also in DRS of Cornish lead.
No,
Matty,
he's
Matty just letting him pass.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's sensible. Matty doesn't want to risk another penalty. Pigeon's not going to get 9 seconds of penalty.
Right, yeah.
So.
I mean, if you want to maximise the points for the team, you let Pigeon go ahead, because then he's got no penalties.
Yeah. He's dropped back. He still wants to be in DRS. For
just
Pigeon,
in case.
But I think he's sort of falling out of DRS. Pigeon has a very good first sector. Gained about 3 or 4 tenths on Legends. And you can see he's perfecting his lines. He's getting right, using all the track but not going over, unlike that we've seen from Matty and Cornish so far. But he might have. No, Pigeon didn't get DRS. Neither did Matty, so it's just Legends only one of the top 4 DRS this lap.
I don't know why Cornish keeps running to that inside line, because all he keeps doing is picking up marbles.
I don't know how much marbles affect it, as we see Tornado and Quirky. Actually, 3 wide here. As we see the mistakes from Williams. Is willing to go for the cutback. Yes, TV angle.
Horizon come back out? Is that right? No, it's not Horizon. What am I on about?
No, it's Horizon, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
In the Red Bull, I think. On the mediums.
Oof, almost lost the back end there.
As Sector 3, somebody has lost the back end.
Oh, shit! Holy! That was Matty.
Anyone going to dive in?
Someone's safety car. That's it.
Horizon,
get in there.
And on the mediums, he's just saved himself. And where's the safety car?
Is it turn 1? They've caught the safety car, haven't they?
This has just played into Horizon's hands.
This is what Cornish says he wants. Sorry, Cornish.
Yeah, let's. If Cornish gets any higher than 7th, I'll be surprised.
Well, I said I wanted a safety car, and I've got 2.
We've got 2,
so,
yeah.
I mean, I'm happy.
Let's check the tyres. How many laps did everyone... I don't even know what button it is that one. Tyres. So yeah, 4, 5 and 6 laps, and Horizon on fresh tyres. No penalties. Are we going to see Horizon podium?
I don't know. Well, Matty went off wide, and then... Because I was on with Horizon at the time, and I think Tornado went around the corner at full power and just kind of T-boned him. And yeah.
Yeah, because there were so many of them. I was trying to flick between drivers, and it just kept changing. I saw confetti of carbon fibre everywhere, but
Yeah, it was a
looked the
big
same.
hit.
I think
Big
I was
hit.
on Matty the lap before. He'd almost lost it through that corner already, so I suspect very much like what happened to Grunt. A car had spun and Tornado had nowhere to go,
How many
which
did you
is a
have
shame.
finished yesterday?
5, which is when I say I got 5th. It sounds like a great achievement, but
What? There are only 5 finished? I thought 7 finished yesterday.
I got 5th, didn't I?
Ooh,
Did I get 5th?
Cornish,
I've
way
been
up.
thinking I got 5th.
Cornish almost rear-ended the bloody safety car. Cornish, that is
Oh,
not
you need to be careful here.
Legends. That is not Legends.
Yeah, we had 5 finish. We had 8 start, 1 DNF on the first lap, because of an AI, and then another one, Vettel. I think he spun at some point.
One
And
left.
then technically there was 6, but one of the car was an AI. But so, are we not getting safety car in this lap? I'm surprised. I thought every lap behind a safety car is hurting Cornish even more, gives him less of a chance to build any sort of gap to Horizon and eyes at the back. And
Okay.
okay, that's an interesting choice by Cornish. Did he realise he's going to be last anyway?
Yeah, I think yes. I think he might just be going for the fastest lap.
Yeah, and eyes is again. So both of them. So as well as fresh tyres, Horizons is now up to P5.
Cornish just ran over an Aston Martin pit crewman. You always have to leave the space.
So now Legends is the one to worry about. I think Cornish pitting has actually saved Legends. He has clean air now.
Yep.
It'll be a 3-lap shootout, whereas before he had to wait half a lap to make his way past Cornish before building a gap. It's how many places can he build a 3-second gap to? It is 3 seconds, isn't it? Now we know they're all on soft, so let's keep it penalties to the end.
Yep.
Yeah, can he build a gap of 3 seconds? I think Pigeon. We've seen Pigeon's been quick, but he's not really had the pace that Legends has.
I think if Evo attacks Pigeon, then Legend will get the gap. Because Evo's got nothing to lose. He's got no penalties, Pigeon's got no penalties, so Evo needs to get past Pigeon if he wants to win.
Yeah, for sure. And I believe, would this be Evo's first podium of the season? I'm not too sure.
I think so.
Yeah, I can't remember the last time Evo, because obviously he might, when it must have been when he was in Division 3 in season 4.
I don't,
Season
if you're
3 the
talking
last
about
time he got
another,
a podium.
if you're talking about another season, I ain't got a clue. Unless you're talking
Yeah,
about
then
season
I've-
4. That's the only season
No,
I
I'm-
remember.
What about season 2 at F3? Yeah, because you were in that tier, weren't you? F3 season 2,
Yes.
when it was you, me, Camo, Dangerous Dan, Stygian.
Shane.
There was somebody else in that battle. There was a 6-way battle for the championship, wasn't there? With like 2 races to go, 6 of us could have won it. But anyway, it was safety car in this lap. How many positions can Legends pull? Put your predictions down in the chat. Who do you think is going to win? Or predictions for the podium, and also predictions for how many penalties Cornish will have by the end of the race. He's really. I mean, he got on TV cam for Pigeon. He's really slowing us down. It's definitely slower than what Matty did. That's one of the slowest safety cars I've seen in a little while.
Constant speed though.
Yeah, keeping it about 50 miles an hour is gonna hurt. Make tyres really cold. Turn 1, and you're gonna miss lock up the brakes.
Don't get me wrong, that's
As we have.
it's not that fast. But
Yeah. He's definitely pulled a gap. Changed the leader. But Legend's got the gap already. Not going to be challenged. Anyone going to make a move in turn 1. Evo weaving a bit.
maybe to get some temperatures.
Yeah. I think Horizon might have passed Quirky before the safety car at the second to last corner, so he might be a little bit in trouble. But yeah, obviously that'll be for the stewards to decide if the clip's sent in. But Horizon's definitely seems quick.
Oh.
I thought it was going to be Horizon for a second as he cut the corner as well.
Cornish.
Yeah,
Horizon though.
I
he's
think Horizon
all
might
over
win
Evo.
this.
He's all over Evo. Legends has got
He's
3
gonna
seconds as well. He's got 6 seconds now.
He's got 6 seconds, yeah.
Oh, I thought he was on about
Legends.
Cornish getting another 3 seconds.
No,
Oh
Cornish
wow.
was as well. When did Legends get his penalty then?
I don't know. It must be at the same time as Cornish because I never saw it come up.
Yeah, so is Evo going to challenge back?
So I think
it
that's
doesn't
the
look like
win.
it.
I think that's the podium out win for Legends now.
I'm not too sure. I think there's 4 drivers. Quirky's still here. I think it's a...
Yeah, he's
Actually,
like
keep on gap to
fifth.
leader. Yeah, he's going to drop him to 5th. It's currently 3 seconds to Quirky. He's got to build up 3 seconds in 2 laps to have any chance of being ahead of Quirky. And he's got to make 3.5 seconds on Evo. 2 laps. So I think the battle for the lead is definitely Horizon and Pigeon. We know Pigeon's squeaky clean with penalties. We checked before his first safety car, he had no warnings. Horizon might be 1 away, so Horizon, if he wants a chance, it's Cornish. Goes for a move on Quirky. Oh, that's helping Legends because that's
Good Horizon,
Quirky was 4
inside.
seconds.
Oh,
He's run
Nice
too deep.
switch back.
Shame.
yeah, I thought he was licking the stamp then.
And we're at the point now where the ties, 8 laps
Oh,
of Pigeon.
Cornish, come on, mate. That's 3 warnings in 1 lap, half a lap.
Yeah, it's even worth saying it now. It's just so many.
You might as well just
I
bloody
would just assume
retire.
he's going to get one every lap.
And I just
Yeah,
think, I think he's like, fuck this. He's just going for
Yeah,
it.
as it's a 3-lap shootout, we know there'll be just 1 lap of DRS. And so I think Horizon, what's at ERS levels, both on identical percentages, 1% between them. As we see Quirky, again, I think Quirky's maybe got damage as Cornish just run off to the next state again. That's going to be another war. As he almost makes contact with Evo. Every time, all this battling is helping Legends. I think Legends could still nab a podium if these people battle too much. I think Evo needs to realise the battle's not for Cornish. It's a shame, another one for Eyes. But if the race was to finish this lap, Legends will still be 5th. He's got to make up another 1.2 seconds on Quirky and 2 seconds on Evo. As we see the battle for the lead, DRS enabled. Horizon, I wouldn't use... Horizon should be saving ERS, just sticking behind. Don't go for the move, just stick in there.
Not till the back straight.
I think we need to stick on this, go for the broadcast views, even though they're not great round here through the S's. Show the speed of these cars that they're taking. Slightly different lines coming into turn 3. Pigeon a lot more wide. Ooh, that's close. There might be another warning for Horizon there. He needs to be careful. It's just 4/10 at the moment. But yeah, Legends still going to finish 5th at this rate. And actually, Legends is dropping time. Is he trying to give Pigeon? No, he wouldn't be giving Pigeon DRS, would he? Because he wants Pigeon to finish as low as possible, being a championship contender.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Legends fully hoping Horizon makes a move now to stop Pigeon winning. Gaps 3/10 of a second, 2/10 of a second.
Oh,
It looks like Horizon. How much is Pigeon going to defend? Do we have to onboard some Cornish? Or a big cut off from
Horizon's
Pigeon.
got more ERS as well. Only a few percent.
Horizon needs to defend a turn inside of turn 8. He doesn't defend.
Ooh. I thought Pigeon
And now
might
all
have...
Cornish.
Ooh,
Cornish might have
hello,
just saved
Cornish.
Legends there. I think he's just... Sorry, not saved Legends, saved Horizon. He's just given Horizon the P1. And I think that might be
I'm
it as we cut across the line.
confused.
Legends will cross the line first, but he probably won't even be in the top 4.
No, he'll be 5th.
Horizon's going to come across the line. Cornish won't even be in the top 3, cross the line in 3rd. As we see, yep, Horizon takes the win. I want to check if this has been his first podium this season as well.
Quirky Turtle, again says driver of the day. But remember, people, come check us out on Twitter and vote for your driver of the day later on tonight.
Yeah, my driver of the day, it's going to be close. I think there's probably 2 names there that stick out for me. It's probably...
I'm going to say Horizon.
Yeah, I think it's Horizon, but also Quirky. Able to come back from last on the grid to pick up P4.
True.
It's a great result from the driver.
That's a very good race as well, yeah.
So do you want to walk us through our finishing 7?
Yep, so in P1 your winner is Horizon in Red Bull. In P2 on the second position is Pigeon in the AlphaTauri. 3rd is Evo in the Ferrari. 4th is Quirky Turtle in the Williams. 5th is IGN Legends in the Mercedes, who actually crossed the line first. Unfortunately he had 6 seconds worth of penalties. 6th is Eyes the Best in Aston Martin. Cornish in 7th with McLaren. He actually crossed the line in 3rd, but as we all know, he has loads of penalties. And then in 8th, the rest of DNF. Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't even pick up any points. Yeah, sadly, I think it probably would have been too many, probably 2 or 3 laps too early to be over 90%.
Yeah, because you have to be over that threshold, don't you? Right, let me invite them.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, Horizon, Pigeon, and Evo. So I believe I wouldn't be surprised if everyone on this podium is very happy today. Horizon. How many points has he got this season? He's got 20 points this season.
Wow.
So he's more than double his tally. Evo's got 24, so they both almost
doubled
had a solid result.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great race for them.
And how many points did Pigeon outscore Legends by? Probably 8?
8, yeah.
So I believe the gap at the top of the championship's down to just 9 points.
Back in 10 seconds, I just need to go to the gentleman's room.
Okay, who do we have in so far? Let me check the party chat. So we have... have we got Horizon in? This is the last one we're missing. Okay, let me see if Horizon... let me see if Horizon is joining for her interview, because obviously this must be his first podium of the season. So it'd definitely be... I think both of you are probably both happy to be here, aren't you? Both. Probably... Oh, shame Horizon's not got a mic, so... Start with you, Pigeon. Obviously, interesting race for you. You sort of dropped back off Legends at the start of the first stint and then decided to take an alternate strategy on the hards. What was your reasoning behind going hards, and were you planning to go to the end on those?
Yeah, that decision was purely just of not having a lot of practice. I didn't really know how the softs would react, how long we could go. I did probably like 3 laps on race fuel and they were overheating, so I didn't like the idea of using them. So I just played it safe, and didn't really matter too much towards the end because of a couple of safety cars, but it worked out pretty well.
Yeah, and obviously with being such a tight race, I believe you didn't get any warnings, or at least when we checked the first safety car, you were warning free, and everyone else had at least a few warnings. So how were you able to keep it clean on such a track where there's quite a lot of runoff?
Yeah, I mean, the practice I did, I was getting loads of pens as well, so it was kind of just not pushing like 100%, just keeping a little bit back, but I was super happy with the balance I had in the car as well, probably the best it's felt all season. Really, to be fair, I couldn't have gone much faster without getting all those warnings, so I think I pretty much got the most out of it.
Yeah, so great result, and I don't even know what race is next. Mexico. Obviously, actually, Mexico is a very similar track to USA. A lot of high-speed turns and long straights. How do you feel for next week? Now the championship gap, especially for the championship gap being just 9 points now.
Yeah, it is similar, but it's also tricky just with such a long straight. You ideally want to run as a lower downforce possible, but this game has gone a bit crazy. Everyone's running quite high downforce, so yeah, I think it's going to be interesting. I think it's going to be another hard one for pens as well. So just try and keep it clean.
Love your profile.
Okay, Pursuit, yeah.
Love your profile pic, by the way. I just started
Is it
laughing.
something we can check on stream, or
Trust me, don't.
I've only had it like 5 years. People are still trying to like discover it.
I've never noticed that one before.
Yeah.
Yeah, you really had that for 5 years. That's great.
I've had it honestly for so long, and even like last week, people were like, "Oh my god, I've never realised."
Yeah,
But it is what it is.
Okay. Great race for you, though, mate.
P2, yeah. Do you want to interview Evo? I think it's his first podium in a long time.
Yeah, sure. Hi, Evo. Well, P3 on the podium. How do you feel?
That was the first podium of the season.
Is it the first one of the season? Okay, well,
Yep.
congratulations on that one.
First one in Div 2 actually as well. Because when we had the podiums were in Div 3 before this season, so...
Nice. Tell us how your race went in qualifying.
Yeah, qualifying was interesting. Congrats to Horizon and Pigeon as well on the winning second place. So qualifying, yeah, car wasn't quite in the setup window that I would like. The tyres were just overheating way too quickly, even in quali, so the race was fun. So started the race on mediums, and they just, after lap 1 they were like already 100 degrees, so all race until the safety cars at the end. I was just battling tyre management, tyre temp management.
Well, the whole race.
Yeah, basically. So I couldn't actually push at all. And every time I did push, I was either understeering or oversteering. So I just couldn't do anything. But then come in when the first safety car came out, pitted for softs, or a new set of softs, because I got disconnected. Yeah, and then changed my front wing to 9, and then that gave me a little bit more confidence to push a little bit more then. But yeah, and I just tried keeping up with everybody else in front of me. At the end of the race, I was there.
Yes, we was looking in there. With this race result, you basically doubled your points for the season. So congratulations on that. That's a great result for you, especially towards the end of the season. And as Muddy Biscuit has said, we've got Mexico next year. Are you looking forward to Mexico? Is that a track you like, or is it?
Normally Mexico is a track that I do like, because I'm able to make a medium soft work, even on the 2020 and 2021, 2019 and 2020 game. I was able to make medium softs work, but unfortunately I'm going to be missing it because I'm going to be in work, unfortunately.
That's unlucky. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, well, congratulations on your race. Is there anything you want to add, buddy?
No, just congratulations, and yeah, it's a shame you're not here next week. So hopefully, whichever race I can't, whichever race is afterwards, yeah, hopefully whoever's on comms will welcome you both back onto the podium next season. Hopefully, not next race when you're back, and hopefully we'll have an interesting total battle for you. Pigeon, gap's just 9 points at the front now, so with 5 races to go, it's all to play for. So yeah, so if anyone wants to tune in tomorrow, I believe it's F5. Yeah, I'm losing track of this. Happens when I get to the end of the season.
F3
I get a bit sort of brain dead. Yeah, is it F3 or was it F5? No, it's
there's Division 3 on a
Oh yeah, so
No,
no,
F3's Wednesday. I think it's F5.
I'm now doubting myself.
It's
yeah.
F5 tomorrow.
So yeah, it's F5. Yeah, so join tomorrow. It's
Sorry,
F5.
guys.
It's normally Locker on comms, somebody else with Locker. So yeah, join in, have some fun with watching Locker and the F5 race. I believe it's going to be a full grid, all 20 drivers. So
Bloody hell.
that would
Lucky
be great
them.
to see. Yeah, we've actually got 22 tickets so far. So
Couldn't
glad
be
to
me.
say, yeah.
Couldn't be me.
So hopefully we'll get a fun, exciting race with Locker and who else is coming. So yeah, join us tomorrow and then join us this time next week for Mexico F2. Thanks very much.
Bye.
And now I've got to figure out how to turn off the stream. So if you see the stream for another 20 seconds, it's me trying to figure out how to turn it off.
So go to Twitch, go to broadcast, and then the bottom